Alright guys, welcome to episode 1 of the Indices BootCamp. You guys asked for it on TikTok, the video done well, so here it is. Every day on YouTube for the next 30 days, we're going to be going through absolutely everything to do with the indices. I'm going to be giving you literally years worth of knowledge on the indices. We're going to be going through the technical analysis, the sentimental analysis, the fundamental analysis when it comes to the indices, and how to actually manage your risk as well as manage your emotions and actually trade it successfully. I'm going to be teaching you my unique methodology, so my personal system that I've actually built myself. This is not something I learned from a different course. This is genuinely what I've just developed through years of trading it. And this is what I teach to my paid mentorship students. So you guys are getting this for free. Now, some of the mentees may be watching this and you may be a little bit pissed, but there's a difference between having a system and trading a system successfully in it. And this is actually something we're going to be learning in today's lesson. Just because you have a profitable strategy and just because I'm giving you a profitable strategy, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to trade it profitably. And there's a couple of reasons for that. It goes into emotions, it goes into your approach to the market and how well you're able to consistently do the same thing. But this first lesson and this little first teaching is all going to be about accountability and your actual, your expectations behind this in it. Now, I don't want to still TGR script too much behind the whole bootcamp thing in it. So don't worry, I'm not going to break down and have a little emotional moment later. Or maybe I do. But the first session is so important to give you guys the framework of what to actually expect in it. Now, I'm going to make a wild guess and assume that if you're watching this, this is not the first trading video you've come across in it. Unless this video has happened to blowing up and it's done super well and I'm just on the algo, in which case, please sub to the channel. But chances are you've probably seen a bunch of other trading courses and you're just watching this little bootcamp because maybe you want to know a little bit more about the indices, or maybe you want to just see how I'm trading and you want to see what technicals you can take away and kind of combine into your personal system. And again, I get that because that's what I was doing. Now, this system is a system that was designed around my unique approach, designed around my personality and my psychology in it. So for some of you, it may work super well. It may be the best system and you've cracked it and now you're going to be profitable. And for some of you, it may just be the most retarded system in the world. You're sitting there looking there like, bro, what is this? I'm not going to trade this. In which case, fair enough in it. Is whatever really floats your boat. Whatever's profitable for you is profitable for you in it. But this is the system that has gotten me 6 figures in funding. It's the same system that's made me X amount of payouts that's gotten me to the place that I'm at today in it. Now, a little bit of backstory in it, because I'm sure there's going to be a couple of you guys watching this who don't know who I am in it. But my name's Daniel. I'm 19 right now. I'm turning 20 in August, so actually end of this month. And I've been trading for 4.5 years. I need to start saying 5 years actually. So I've been trading for 5 years now. Since the age of 14 is when I initially started trading. I started through an MLM company, one of these BS pyramid schemes essentially, and a couple of signal groups. Eventually got out of that and started learning the markets myself. And essentially it took me over 2.5 years of struggling, 2.5 years of going in circles to even get an idea of what it is that I was doing in it. So from 14 up until, let's call it 15, 16, coming up on 17 even, I was still really struggling until I just had my little Eureka moment is what I call it in it. Now, this is a concept that Swaggy C used to talk about, this Eureka moment where everything clicks in your head. And I remember for my first year of trading, I really wanted to have this moment. I was really sitting there studying the charts every day, yo, when am I going to have my light bulb moment? When's it all going to click? When am I just going to wake up and feel profitable? And it never came. I never had that day. I never had that overnight shift where everything just clicked. I never had that one moment where I was watching a video and I was like, there it is. It was more like a gradual progression. And I can't even necessarily pinpoint for you when I became profitable, but it was a gradual shift. It was a maturity that I gained in the market where I just woke up one day. I was like, yo, you know what? The past couple of months have been pretty consistent. I haven't done any dumb shit in a while. I haven't over leveraged. I haven't revenge traded. I haven't done X, Y, and Z. Let me go back and look at my data. Oh shit, I've been profitable for a couple of months. Let me keep this going. For me, that's generally how it happened, didn't it? It wasn't an overnight thing, innit? So you need to get this expectation out of your head that you're just going to come across one piece of information, it's all going to click, because it really doesn't work like that. And it really is different for everyone, innit? Some people have previous experiences. Some people have previous knowledge, previous not even necessarily trading knowledge, but they just have other information that is assisting them in their trading progress that you do not have in it. So don't compare yourself to anyone. Make sure you're only comparing yourself to you. because really and truly, nothing else really matters in it. Now, just before we actually get into some technicals and we get into session 2, where we start going through the baseline technical analysis and start to build on the strategy I'm going to be teaching you guys, what I wanted to say is a little bit of a disclaimer in it. Obviously, as you guys can see, or maybe you haven't noticed, but this is not my normal setup. I've normally got a better quality camera and an external microphone and all of that. But I'm specifically trying to make this video not bad quality, but I don't want to have it super engaging and super edited and cut out all the little mistakes. And every time I pause to think about what I'm saying or whatever, I want this to be super raw and super authentic and show you guys just the reality of everything it is that we're doing here. And furthermore, building off of this, another reason is because really and truly, I know the retention rate and the average engagement span nowadays is terrible. No one has a decent engagement span. You're sitting there looking at a video and you want to close it after 2 minutes because you haven't learned the secret of trading in it. But I know that my retention rate on this video is going to be terrible, and a lot of people are going to click off before we even get to the end of episode number 1 in it. But I know that those of you who actually stay and watch this whole raw format and watch me sit there and think about what I'm saying and watch me go back and say the same shit and not have a perfectly edited video, the people that actually sit there and watch the entire thing from start to finish and come back the next day and watch the next episode, and actually watch the entire series and actually pay attention, you guys are genuinely going to benefit, and you guys are genuinely going to take something huge away from this. And I really hope that in a couple of months or whatever, someone messages me and is like, bro, I've been trading the system, I'm super profitable now, look at how much funding I've got, X, Y, and Z in it. Now, coming back to what I just said, in terms of expectations, don't expect to be a super profitable trader in a couple of months, especially if this is the first system you've taken and it's your first time trading the indices. Understand that it's going to take time, it's going to take a little bit of effort, but that is life, innit? Everything's effort, everything takes time, innit? Majority of my audience, to my knowledge, is relatively young, innit? And even if you're old, you've still got all the time in the world, innit? It's never too late to actually go out there and learn how to trade. It's never too late to actually start to develop your mentality and get better just in general, innit? So therefore, now I'm going to drink some water and I'm not going to cut this out the edit, so you guys can just skip this little 10 seconds. Cool. Now, I want to share with you guys these 2 little notepads right here. Now, these 2 notepads are the original notepads I had when I first started learning to trade, back when I was 14, 15 in it. You can see that right here, I've got my trading sessions, and I was trying to learn the difference between a base currency and a quote currency. This was basic Forex stuff. I was learning about brokers and all the types, etc. You can see all the notes are right here in it. And essentially, this is just pages of technicals and pages of just me trying to understand the markets. Now, the reason that I show you this notepad and the reason that I'm bringing it out now is to show you that I was once like you in it. I wasn't always just a profitable 6-figure funded trader. I didn't just spawn out of nowhere and I just knew how to trade. I was once that guy sitting there learning everything on YouTube, sitting there making the notes, studying the markets, backtesting, blowing funded accounts, losing my personals, etc. That was me, and that was me for a very, very long period of time. And I would say, from the people that I know who are actually profitable, I had one of the longest journeys, because it took me almost 3 years to become profitable, because I didn't have any mentor for the first 2 and a bit years. I wasn't learning from anyone specifically. I was just trying to figure things out for myself. And especially being a younger person and coming up from the background that I came up from, I didn't have a lot of money. I couldn't necessarily afford to buy courses. A couple $100 to me at the time was a lot of money. And I couldn't even justify investing in education. To me, the whole concept of even investing in my learning was like a scam. That's something a course seller said to get me to buy their program in it. And yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird. But again, just coming back to the point is that used to be me. And the only reason that I'm now here today and the reason that I'm now in front of the camera teaching other people how to do what I've done is because I just didn't quit. I just continued to go in it. And I know this sounds super cliche in it. Everyone's talking about don't quit and stay perseverant and whatever. But really, that is the secret to all of this, innit? I think 97% of traders lose money and fail in this market because 97% of traders quit. That's a simple fact, innit? If you don't quit, you can't fail. Now, obviously, I know someone's going to leave a comment talking about, mate, that's a gambler's mindset. If you don't all right, just suck your mom in it. But really and truly, if you continuously do something, and this is exactly the thought process I had when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, and I was losing money for years on end. And bear in mind, really think about this. Really think about this. Because at the time, trading wasn't a huge thing on social media. There wasn't people telling me, bro, you can get funded and make money this way. Like at the time, it was just personal account, sit there, trade it, flip it. And I had no one mentoring me, no one guiding me. And I was just sitting there constantly losing money. And everyone's telling me to stop trading. Everyone's telling me, bro, quit, go to university, go college, do an apprenticeship, get a job, make money, like do something proper. And I continue to just do the same thing. Because in my mind, I truly believe that, yo, if I just wake up and I dedicate all my energy, all my effort, my willpower, my soul, everything into learning to trade, and I sit there and I spend 6, 7, 8 hours a day backtesting, gathering data, and I do that every day for years on end, you're telling me I'm not going to become profitable? And that's the exact mentality that I had in it. And just through continuous repetition, eventually I got it. That was it. That's literally the only thing I can tell you about that in it. It was one big 3 to 4 year blur of struggling and going back and forth and psychology and relapses and switching strategies and all of this until everything just came. And again, this is the thing about trading, is it's not a linear process. You don't just start progressing like this. It's much more exponential. It's like you see no results, you see no progress until everything clicks, and then it shoots off to like the stratosphere in it. And in that year that I became profitable, I got 6 figures in funding and immediately began to scale up in it, because like honestly, it's crazy. Things in trading happen so quickly. And I truly believe it's one of those industries where you can be making $0 for like your first 2-3 years in it. And then in year number 3, year number 4, that first month you become profitable, you make back your 3 years worth of losses. Like it's actually crazy to even think about. But again, I'm not gonna do a TGR here and start getting emotional. But honestly, like I really want you guys, genuinely, like you guys are actually sitting and watching the video, I really want you to experience what it is that I've experienced in it, to have your goals met, to actually see that it's achievable, to know that, yo, what I want to do, what I've got in my head is doable, innit? The same way TGR, the same way all these other traders, we are not better. We're not like more smarter, we're not more intelligent. Maybe some people are than others, innit? But it's not an intelligence thing, it's not genetics, it's not an upbringing. It's simply just doing the work that is required. And on a long enough time scale, you're going to get it. Some people get it quicker than others. Some people have a head start. Some people have different starting points or whatever. But if you are determined enough, it does not matter what your background is, bro. You can get that. Like, you can do it, G. You can do it. Oh, don't even make me start stuttering, mate. You can do it. All right. It's crazy. This video's only 12 minutes, man. It's crazy. I feel like I've been sitting here for a minute. But anyways, yeah, let's start session 1 in it. So session 1 is about accountability, consistency, and we're outlining the framework in it. Now, accountability. First and foremost, you are accountable for everything. Everything you do is on you. It's not on me. It's not on this Daniel Effects. I'm not liable for any losses you hold. It is all you. Furthermore, when you take a loss, it's you. When you take a profit, it's you. It's never the market. Get this idea of you versus the markets out your head in it. It's you versus you. The markets is just what you're doing this whole battle in. You see what I'm saying in it? So it's you versus you. Now, this is something that really attracted me to trading in it, because it's the idea of accountability. When it comes to e-com, it comes to Amazon FBA, when it comes to running like other businesses online, there's always an element of, it's not me, it's the customer. It's not me, it's the manufacturer. It's not me, it's some other external force that I cannot control. Therefore, it's not my problem. But when it comes to trading, it is all on you. You're the person who sits there, who looks at the chart. You're the person who draws a level. You're the person who puts on your position. You're the person who calculates your risk-reward ratio. You're the person who executes that trade and determines whether or not you're going to take a profit or a loss. It is all you. Now, granted that the markets are going to do what the markets are going to do. They're going to have their various movements and whatever. But it's still on you to decide to trade that in it. So accountability is like one of the most important things in it, because the second you start to blame the market, the second you start to blame an external factor and shift that like accountability from you somewhere else, that's when everything goes out the window, in it, because you're never going to develop, you're never going to get better and fix the problems that you may or may not have if you're not first and foremost accountable that you actually made that mistake to begin with. You see what I'm saying? And the second thing is consistency. Like everything in life, it doesn't matter how much you do in one day, it's consistency. You can sit here and backtest for 13 hours straight one day and then not touch trading for 2 weeks and then do the same thing every other 2 weeks or whatever. And that's not really going to benefit you. It's about doing the same thing day in, day out. That refers to backtesting, keeping a consistent backtesting schedule and keeping a consistent trading schedule. That means approaching the market every day, whether or not you're trading, whether or not you're on an account, looking at the markets, going through your thought process and keeping everything very, very systematic. Now, over the course of this industry mentorship, I'm going to be teaching you guys a systematic approach to actually come into the markets every day and have a set routine. I'm going to be showing you guys my personal routine and how I think you should structure your day. But again, it's up to you to come into the markets and do it the same way daily. And it's about doing it day in, day out. It does not matter if you do it for 30 days and then stop for one day. You need to keep it going, in it. It's momentum. Honestly, it's momentum. It's your utmost priority. Now, again, if you really want to become a profitable trader, you really want to become funded, you really want to make those big payouts you see everyone making online, you need to understand that so does everyone else. Like, there's another couple 100,000 people that want to do the exact same thing that you're doing. And simply watching like one YouTube video and spending 10-20 minutes backtesting a couple of trades and then being like, yo, this is boring, and doing something else, that's not going to cut it. Like, you really need to go at it. You see what I'm saying? So really and truly, for the next 30 days, both me and you are going to make a commitment that we're going to be here every single day. Every single video that I drop on YouTube, you guys are going to watch from start to finish, like the whole thing, completion. And you're going to sit there and you're going to write notes. And not only are you going to write notes, not only are you going to sit there and nod your head, but after you finish the videos, after you finish the technical lessons, you're going to pause the video and you're going to go and backtest it. Because again, none of this means anything if you're not able to put it into practice. This is all theory at the end of the day. I can teach you how to enter, how to put your stop, how to put your TP, etc., what to look for, where to look for it. But then if you're not able to go and do that, what is the point? You see what I'm saying? So after every session, I would highly recommend that you pause the video, maybe even halfway through, you pause the video and you go and look for that concept. You go and apply it to your chart and you go have a little practice with it. And then you come back and watch the next video. Now, this is going to be a very long journey, these next 30 days, for me and for you in it. For you guys, because you're learning a lot, and for me, because I'm sitting here recording the videos every single day. I also edit for myself. I also trade for myself and whatnot. So there's a lot that goes into it. And furthermore, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist in terms of I really want to edit my videos. I really want to cut out the mistakes. I really want to have everything be perfect. So it's going to be a challenge for me to just upload the raw footage as it is. But we're going to get it done in it. And that is the consistency part covered. Now, just going through some basic indice characteristics before we really get into the technicals in the next session. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, a little bit of a framework of the indices and what I'm going to actually be teaching you. So first and foremost is I trade a price action based strategy. Now, this is price action mixed in with smart money concepts with like liquidity and fair value gaps and some other things I'm going to be teaching you. But it's primarily price action and what I call candlestick behavior. So reading things like market sentiment, reading things like depletion, reading things like candle strength and weakness, very, very like behavioral kind of analysis in it. Now, I purposely try and keep the trading and try to keep my strategy incredibly simple. I can literally summarize it to you in one sentence right now, and that is a break and a retest. That is it. Obviously, there's a couple of things that go into it, and there's a little bit of a process to find a good break and retest, but that is essentially the basis of it. Now, my trading is stupidly simple for a reason. And that is because I spent so many years trying to complicate it. I spent so many years going in circles, learning these complicated smart money strategies, trading Fibonacci, trading indicators, trading moon cycles, just nonsense. And that is because I believe the technicals were the main thing. I believe the technicals is why I wasn't profitable. But really and truly, it was all my psychology and it was all my approach to the market. So what I found, and this is what I would consider my Eureka moment, but what I found in my third year of trading is everything is essentially a different variation off of a break and retest. When you look at any system, what is that system trying to accomplish? Where they're trying to find a trending market, they're trying to find a directional bias, they're trying to find the key level, and they're trying to enter in a good area off of this key level and trade the trend in it. So in other words, you're looking for a trending market, looking for a key level, a break, a retest, and a continuation. And that's kind of the like Eureka moment I had in my third year. And I was like, yo, if everyone's trading essentially a break and retest, why don't I actually just go and trade a break and retest? And I sat there and I studied it and I backtested it. And it was so much easier than any other strategy because it was just price action. And I was able to be much more consistent with that, only trading 1 to 2s, keeping my risk-reward ratio very tight. And my win rate just went through the roof. My consistency went through the roof and everything got better because I simplified it. Now, everything I'm going to be teaching you, you can learn elsewhere. Like there's no secret methodologies here. There's no secret formulas. Granted, there is a specific setup called the 3-pin drive that I've created myself. So besides from that, there is a lot of this information out there online. So it's not like revolutionary shit, but it's just my approach and it's my philosophy that I'm going to be teaching you primarily and how you can actually do this in it. But this actual system and this actual way of approaching the market, I haven't seen anywhere else online. I haven't seen it on YouTube. So as TGR would say, it's changing the game. So not honestly, I need to stop mentioning this dude, innit? But it's just because we're doing the boot camp, so I feel like he started the whole boot camp thing. Really and truly, he probably stole the boot camp from someone else, but that's probably besides the point. Anyways, back to the point. Indices. What are the indices? What is an indice? Now, the indices, or what I'm going to be teaching how to trade, is US 30, NASDAQ, and German 30. US 30, for those of you who don't know what that is, US 30 is the top 30 US stocks. So you've got companies like Apple, like Amazon, like Boeing, MasterCard, etc. And it's a combination of all 30 of those stocks, whether they're bullish or bearish, it's an accumulation. NASDAQ is the same thing, but it's the top 100 companies. And German 30 would be the same thing, but for the top 30 Germany companies in it. Now, the indices are crazy volatile, isn't it? This is something I want to start off by saying. They're crazy volatile. So there's a correct way to trade them, and there's an incorrect way to trade them. If you experience bad psychology on the indices, it's going to be very, very bad. It's going to end very badly for you because the indices do not care. Like they're like the forex pairs on steroids. They rip. They go very, very quick and they move very fast. Now, this can either work in your favor if you're trading in the correct direction, or if you're not trading in the correct direction, it's going to stop you out very quickly. Now, this has its own pros and cons. Some people love getting stopped out quickly because it means they don't have to sit there anxiously, and some people hate it. They'd rather intraday trade. It really does depend on you and your personal personality or whatever. But for me, I'd much rather sit there, enter on a 5-minute on US 30, and either have my trade get stopped down in 15-20 minutes or have it hit take profit in like under an hour. But back to the point, indices are crazy volatile. So utmost important, which again is going to be a whole session within itself, is risk management. You need to keep the risk very, very tight. There's no room for messing about. There's no room for 2, 3, 4% trades in it. There's no room for any of this nonsense because the indices do not care and you're just going to get liquidated. Simple as. Now, building off of this is high impact news. I know a lot of you guys like to trade the news for some reason. First and foremost, just stop that. Stop. Just get serious in it. But you definitely can't be doing that on the indices. Again, unless you really want to liquidate your account, there's just no need. There's absolutely no need to trade any sort of news in it. So we're going to be very, very systematic in our approach, and we're going to be very conservative in the trading. Now, US 30 can just give you terrible price action, can just consolidate and go back and forth, and it makes it very difficult and very untradeable. But what we're going to be doing is only looking for the super high probability trading setups and super high quality trade opportunities. So it's not about trading every day, but it's about trading the right setups every day. Now, right here, I can actually see my US 30 trade from earlier. This is besides the point, and I'm actually going to wrap up this video very shortly. But I was actually in this trade a minute ago, and it seems to be pushing in my direction now, which is nice to see. And I didn't get stopped out, which is actually beautiful. Oh, I did get stopped. No, I didn't because my stop was just below here. So very, very interesting trade in it. And we're going to be getting into this on the next session. But yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the first episode of the bootcamp. I know we didn't actually learn anything and it's just a more foundational thing. We're just setting a tone for this. But as we begin to progress, we're going to start teaching you how to catch trades like these, how to catch the breakout movements, and really get in depth for the indices. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Blow this up on whatever it is that you're watching this on. Blow it up on TikTok, share it, edit it, comment it, all of that. Just help me out so I can continue to mash these out each and every day. And let's just go through the entire indices.